Well, with an Illinois loss to Michigan, Iowa was in prime position to put him in more of a prime position to claim the Big Ten West crown, but they would have to get through a tough Minnesota team that was still in the mix as well. Now, Iowa needing to take care of business in this game because, like I said, they win that. They are in prime position going into that game against Nebraska, and they're one step closer to the Big Ten championship game. First quarter, Hawks up 3 on the doorstep. Spencer Petras pushes it in behind his line, and Iowa with a 10-0 start. Third quarter, Minnesota down 10-7, and Matthew Trickett knocks this one in from 27 yards out to tie the game. Minnesota gets the ball back, but this time the pass is tipped, and Jack Campbell picks it off, stepping out of bounds. They said he stepped out of bounds around the 40. I don't know. I watched that. I thought it was good for a touchdown, but that turnover leads to a 21-yard field goal by Drew Stevens. He hits the game winner, and Iowa survives 13-10 final.
You know what? It was a total team effort. And all those plays that set, you never know when that play is going to happen, but it's always a teammate that creates that opportunity for you, and you just got to go take advantage of it. So I feel like that's kind of where my mindset was on that play.
Well, we mentioned last week that stopping the run was going to be imperative for Iowa to get the win over Minnesota. They kind of struggled with that in this game. Why do you think that was?
Well, I mean, Mo Ibrahim is really good. That's
true.
Why. And I think the other thing that Minnesota does a really good job of is they scheme their way into advantages. And if you get Mo Ibrahim one-on-one with pretty much anybody, I mean, he's going to play in the next level for a while, whether or not he's going to be a starter or a guy who is just on a roster for 10 years. You know, he reminds me a little bit of a guy like Austin Eckler for the LA Chargers, who's just good at pretty much everything.
Do it all.
Yeah, and so that's kind of what he reminds me of. So you have a guy that's that talented, but at the same time, I mean, guys like Jack Campbell came up huge with the forced fumble, with the interception. It's hard to think from the last Saturday's win to the emotion of today with the Iowa fans that it's all technically within a 6-day span, but I mean it's sort of knowing that the regular season has come to an end. I feel like that Minnesota game was kind of the quintessential example of what that defense is and can do. That, I mean, it is really impressive with what that unit has done all year, and again highlighted in that Minnesota game. Yeah,
I'm glad you brought that up. The defense, as you mentioned, came up huge in this game, especially in those crucial moments where it is a game-changing moment. They are able to make those plays on a consistent basis, which I find super impressive. I mean, that's hard to do in an isolated incident, but they do this. It almost seems like week in, week out.
Yeah, I mean, with the Iowa State offense, every once in a while, I'll be watching the game and I'll just go, make a play, and whether it's a receiver or something like that. Well, Iowa's defense is that. They make a play every single time it needs to happen, not because they're just in the right position, because you can be in the right position and just make a tackle. You can be in the right position and just deflect a ball down, but that's not making a play for your defense. Guys like Cooper DeJean, guys like Jack Campbell, they're the ones that make a play is, I'm going to get an interception, and not only am I going to get this interception, I'm going to return it to put our offense in good position. It's guys making a play, knowing the situation. I mean, that is, I think the legacy of this Iowa defense is going to be that you have a group of guys that need to make a play, or that make a play when they need to make a play.
Absolutely. It's very, very impressive, definitely. Well, it's time to take another quick break, but still to come, we will get into the dramatic season finale at Kinnick Stadium as Iowa hosted Nebraska with a trip to the Big Ten title game on the line.